So how old's Trump going to be? He's going to be 28, 399, 83, and 399. That's murder. Jewish gematria is biblical. He's going to be 28, 399. Murder in Jewish gematria is 399. 28, 3, there's an 83 in that. That's murder in reverse ordinal. So it's murder two different ways. Why did we come up with this? Well, we're sitting here talking about their murder codes, and 88 is Trump and simple gematria, but 38 and 83 are both murder in gematria. You see the 38 is murder in full reduction. And LeBron at 38, the 38-year-old record, when LeBron was 38 years of age, LeBron scored 38 points when he set the record at 38, 38. So there's 38s everywhere. And guess what? He did it on February 7th, which is the what? It's 38th day of the year. So you start bouncing. I realized that today, January 30th, was 357 days after that, which is the amount of verses in the book of Daniel. End times. 404 is the amount of verses in the book of Revelation. That runs to the Ides of March, a movie I happen to be watching on my DVR, along with about 10 other things. I watch like 10 minutes of one thing, and then I'll go to 10. Like, I'll watch a series and movies. I'll have 10 things going at the same time. And I'll stop after 5, 10, 15 minutes. Because I just like having something to look forward to the next time. It's hard for me to sit and watch an entire movie all the way through unless it's really, really good. I think the last time I did that was the Nike movie about Air Jordan. It's called Air, I think. But I digress. This is a big deal that it's 404 days is the Ides of March. And when we run it through the transfer portal of January 10th, 2022, I got into that in another video. I'm not going to get into it here of what the transfer portal and how we discovered it, but needless to say, it was a hunch that I had, and then I realized going back 465 days, landed on October 2nd when Trump said he had the illness, which is called Corona. What a name of a beer, a Corona beer. And we went up 465 days through January 10th, 2022, and it landed on the total solar eclipse, which the outer ring is a Corona. And we went back 37 days. It landed on the it landed on the total solar eclipse of December 4th, 2021. We went up 37 days, and it landed on the snow full moon. So it went eclipse to moon. It went from Corona to Corona. And right then we knew we had it. And the hunch was it was an exact overlay of the Donnie Darko month that January was, as far as the calendar overlay. And January 10th was when they talked about portals, and the movie Tenet is 10 going backwards and forwards in a month. January is the god Janus that sees backwards and forwards. So I realized that it's backwards and forwards through time. They bounce things off this thing that we discovered called a transfer portal. Or I discovered, but we, because we're all here on this channel. Anything I get right, the Holy Spirit just hands it to me on the silver platter anyway. So it transfer portals back to November 5th when they knocked down the Twin Pines, when Marty knocked down the Twin Pines. Marty knocked down the Twin Pines on November 5th. I think it was 1955, went back in time, right? and it became the Twin Pines Mall became the Lone Pine Mall. Well, that transfer portals over to the rising day of St. Patrick's Day. The rising Bible verse, or 2 days on the third day, which is 2 days after November 5th of the Twin Trumps going down, or the Twin Pines, or the Twin Towers going down, rising on the third day of November 7th. That's the Bible verse 11:7 of the beast rising from the pit. It's a spiritual rising. That's all it is. It's going to be possessed by Satan. They'll have their little ritual. That November 7th, through the portal transfers over to the Ides of March, is when he would go down. And in the movie Tenet, if you ever watch the movie, it's the most bizarre movie. You know the AI wrote that movie. Humans would never write a movie like Tenet. It's ridiculous. But they keep going backwards and forwards through time, even at the same time. There's some groups are going backwards through time. They're walking backwards. They're breathing backwards. It is the most ridiculous movie you've ever seen in your life. Only the AI would come up with that. Christopher Nolan is a front man. He didn't direct or write The Dark Knight. The AI did. And they computer animate and show people like him how to shoot the movie. And then he just goes and he shoots it. Bang, bang. So being that this Ides of March and St. Patrick's Day connects to, backwards though, it's a crisscross, connects backwards to the Twin Trumps going down and then November 7th, Twin Trumps going down, or the Twin Pines going down on November 5th. I don't think I've showed the transfer portal in this video. So let's go ahead and do it real quick. Transfer portal of time. Janice, whoops. Get the year first. January 10th. You go up 465 days. Sorry, it was 2022. Janus Tenet, or January 10th, 2022. You go up 465 days, you land on a total solar eclipse. You go back 465 days, October 2nd, 2020, when Trump said he had the illness that's called the outer ring of a total solar eclipse. We went back 37 days. We landed on a total solar eclipse. We went up 37 days. And we landed on the snow full moon of February 16, 2022. So now you're going to go up 795 days. You're going to land on the Ides of March, March 15th. It's on a Friday, just like Jesus died on a Friday. You go backwards. You land on the rising, November 7th, Revelation 11:7. So death and rising. Now you go up 797 days. You land on 2 days later, March 17th, on the third day, right? Just like Jesus died on a Friday, rise on a Sunday. Sunday, March 17th. Subtract 797 through the portal. You land on November 5th when Marty knocked the Twin Pines down, or when the Twin Trumps go down. So the rising and death crisscross through the portal, through their symbology, through the Bible verse. That's why Marty's knocked them down on November 5th, because you then rise on November 7 or 11:7, the Bible verse, the beast rising from the pit on Revelation 11:7. In this case, it'll be a spiritual rising. That's all it is. And the beast that shall ascendeth out of the bottomless pit. And in The Dark Knight Rises, he literally climbed up out of a pit. The Dark Knight Rises came out 2 days later or on the third day from the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was all about the darkened right eye of the Antichrist. Per Revelation 11, Zechariah 11:17. Woe to the idle shepherd. The sword shall be upon his right eye, and his arm shall be clean dried up. His right eye shall be utterly darkened. 11:17. Just like the Heidi Bowl, the Raiders played the Jets. Jets killed Donnie Darko. Jets knocked down the Twin Pines, right? The Raiders' right eye utterly darkened. That game was played on November 17th or 11/17. On the marquee, on the movie marquee and Groundhog Day, it says Heidi 2. There was no Heidi 2. They're talking about the repeat of 11/17, which is the repeat of the Twin Pines going down or the Twin Trumps going down, like what happened on September 1/1. That's all this is. So I would now have to move the Ides of March. And what happened on the Ides of March? Isn't that when Caesar was killed? And wasn't Caesar a god? Just like the Antichrist will be a god. The Ides of March, Caesar. It's when Julius Caesar was assassinated. Caesar was a god.
According to Walks Inside Rome, the official deification of Julius Caesar in Rome took place in 42 BC when the Senate had him deified posthumously. But his divine status had been accepted by the people of Rome soon after his death when a comet appeared in the sky during the funeral games held in his honor by Augustus in 44 BC.
Facebook had me take down that March 15th was going to be a high watch day. And all I put up there was the movie poster for divine status. Was Caesar considered a god? Caesar, however, was much likened to the gods, was not one of them until after his death. So you see what they're doing there. You see what this is all about. The Ides of March, death of the god, which is what the Antichrist will be. Ides of March movie poster. I put that movie poster up in Facebook, along with it being it is now a high watch day, and they told me to take it down. They warned me. Twin symbology. So might be onto something. The new moon is on Eastern time. Look at it. 500. Watch this. Antichristos, strong concordance. Antichrist, Strong's Concordance, G500. 5G technology, G500. Antichristos, G500. Look at the new moon. Right at 500. The full moon on March 25th is a lunar eclipse. It is right at 300. 300 is the full moon. 500 is the new moon. You know what the chances are of that? Like 1 out of 120 that they would both be at 00. And when I ran the time from Tenet, 325 was in the amount of days from Tenet to Ides of March. Again, Trump's going to be 28, 399 days old. 399 is murder in Jewish or biblical gematria. Ides of March. film. Hang on. That's it. You run the Ides of March movie release date on October 7th, 2011 to Tenant's release date of September 3rd, 2020, 325. That's the total lunar eclipse at exactly 3 a.m. as the new moon is exactly 5 a.m. 500. Yep. This is a big deal. These are big finds. Tell me what you think. All right, love you.